Greetings, this is Tuesday, July 27th, heading into high noon, and these are the dog days of summer, kind of the last week of July, first week of August. The heat is hot, those breezes are blowing from the southwest. We're looking at FIRMS, the Fire Information for Resource Management System. The links are below in the description, and we're looking at the MODIS and VWIRS infrared from yesterday and now rolling into today. I see lots of new little dots around the glacier area, into the Rockies, and above the Shuswap. Let's do that once again. This is yesterday and now today. Some of these may have been smoldering since those last lightning storms went through. It can take a couple of days. But rather than speculate, go to the BC wildfire site in the description below to your local area and find out what the situation is. They have a situation map and you can click on it and find out what the evacuation alerts and orders are. Let's jump right in and do a comparison between infrared that we were detecting yesterday and today. This is White Rock Lake area. We're looking south of Monty Lake, southwest of Falkland, south of Highway 97, and we've watched this fire progress eastward, and it made a dramatic move overnight. Let's take a look. And there it is. By my guesstimate, it could be 7-8 kilometers movement eastward. Here we're zooming in. We're looking at the IFR for yesterday and now today. So because of the speed at which this fire is traveling, if you're in the area, it's crucial that you get the ground report. And yesterday the Sentinel2 system updated its scan of the area, and here we can see fire on the eastern flanks. This is before it made that dramatic jump. We're looking at this through a false color filter. That enables us to see the burn areas a little clearer. And I'll put a link in the description below. You can go to the Sentinel system and zoom into the area of your concern, and you'll be able to see where fire has affected the vegetation. We've moved westward. We're looking at the fire that has spread from Lytton. It's gone up towards Spence's Bridge. These are the hotspots from yesterday and now today. So it's as if the wind is coming in from the southwest and pushing these flanks outward. It's a little bit more volatile on the northern flank, a little bit more volatile on the southern flank. Let's zoom into the northern flank. We're looking south of Spence's Bridge. This is the infrared from yesterday, and it had pulled back or receded from the Nicola River on the right-hand side of your screen, and now we're rolling into today. I'm seeing less infrared on the northeast corner of this fire zone. However, there is a lot of new MODIS infrared showing up right at the northern edge. It almost appears like it's right on the river in these heat detections. So again, that ground report is going to be crucial to know exactly where the fire is. These red squares do not mean that fire is consuming that entire square. It just means that somewhere within that square heat was detected. And here, if we go to the Sentinel system, we can see small pinpricks of light, and those are actual flames on the imagery from yesterday. We've moved a short distance north to the Tremont Creek fire. This is east of Ashcroft, east of Cache Creek, south of Highway 1. We're looking at imagery from yesterday and now today. Definitely more movement eastward. Also on the left-hand side of the screen, just south of Barnes Lake, I see more consolidation or concentration of the infrared there. Let's take a look at the Sentinel pictures from yesterday. We're seeing a lot of volatility on that southeastern flank. That's actual flame from the photographic image. And if we zoom in, we can see it's quite volatile, burning like paper. It's burning on the edges. It's consumed the fuel on the inside. And with the smoke trail, it gives us an indication of the direction that it's going to take. Here again is the satellite infrared from yesterday and now today. So we can see that eastward movement. So if you're north and east of these fire flanks, you'll want to get that ground report from BC Wildfire. The description is in the link below. We've moved northeastward to the Sparks Lake fire. We're looking at infrared volatility on an eastward move towards Bonaparte, and up at the top of the screen, that's around Young Lake. Here is the infrared from yesterday, and now rolling into today. Again, more eastward push. And keep in mind, we're looking at the satellite data from 4 systems, so they're all layered on top of each other. We're seeing 4 squares where there may only be 1 incidence of fire. That's just so we can see any changes in fire movement or growth between satellite passes. We are moving northwest now to the Flat Lake fire zone. We can see infrared from yesterday and now rolling into today. Very slight eastward and southeastward movement on all those existing flanks where there have been clusters of infrared. They all took a shuffle eastward slightly. And every time there's a new hotspot on that southern flank, I'm getting an alert. So each time a satellite passes overhead, about 6 hours in between each update. Let's move northwards to the Cannon Lake area. Here is the infrared from yesterday and now today. There are a couple new hotspots southeast of the lake as well. A couple new VIIRS popped up to the east of Lang Lake. Zooming in, I actually see 3 new VIIRS, and that's just north of Schoolhouse. Let's move eastward now to the Shuswap. We see Adams Lake up in the top left-hand portion of the screen. We can see North Seymour Arm, and then down at the bottom of the screen, Sicamous. Now we're rolling into today's infrared. A little thicker, a little brighter on all those fire zones. Not seeing any expansion or growth, just more intensity. Let's jump southeast to the Maple Lake area. Sugar Lake is in the center of the screen. The Monashees are just to the right of center. And rolling into today, again, some of that eastward, northeastward push, a little brighter in the infrared, so more activity there. We've now moved to the southern interior of the province. We're looking at Arrow Lakes over on the left-hand side of the screen. Kootenay Lake is on the right-hand side of the screen, and Castlegar is just left of center. This was yesterday's heat detections, and now today. A lot of aging in place, more concentration. Some slight southwestward movement on the fires north of Christina Lake and on the western side of Lower Arrow Lake. And a new hotspot popped up just to the west of Castlegar. We're moving further west now to the South Okanagan. We're looking at Okanagan Falls at the top of the screen. Oliver and Osoyoos are at the bottom of the screen. These are yesterday's heat detections, and now we're rolling into today. There's definitely more eastward movement, concentration up on that hillside. I am seeing more northeastward movement instead of southeastward movement, so it may be catching some of those southwest winds as it approaches the plateau. And here we're looking at a screen from the Sentinel system of the burn area. This is using a false color filter so that we can see that brown shaded area. That's where the burn occurred. This is looking at the northern flank. Oliver is on the left-hand side of the screen, and we can see where the path of the fire went, and it torched those grasslands just to the east of Oliver. And then over on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see actual flames burning on the northern perimeter into a forested block. This is imagery from yesterday, and I'll put the link to the Sentinel system in the description below, and you can zoom into your area and get an idea of where the fire traveled. It is delayed. The Sentinel system updates every couple days, so we're usually looking at imagery that's out of date. Winds were light again this morning, depending on where you are. Higher elevations are a little bit brisker. We're looking at southwest winds at 6 kilometers an hour at the Flat Lakes fire zone, and then moving to Spence's Bridge from the southwest, 5 kilometers an hour. And these wind speeds are likely to pick up as the heat increases during the day to a peak in the afternoon. Currently showing from the north 5 kilometers an hour in the Oliver Osoyoos area. The winds are coming from the southwest, and then they fan when they get over the mountain and turn and start heading from the north. Winds were a little more subdued, southwest 4 kilometers an hour around the White Rock Lake area that's south of Kamloops. And then over at Cache Creek at the Tremont Creek fire from the west 2 kilometers an hour. So it is blowing things eastward. Over at Lower Arrow Lakes from the southwest 4 kilometers an hour, and there we see this sort of washboard effect as wind picks up speed over the mountains and then slows down in the valleys. Let's go up to the Bonaparte for a forecast currently coming from the west at 1 kilometer an hour. That's insignificant. Looking at changing wind direction throughout the day, gusts about 20 kilometers an hour, normally sitting at 5 kilometers an hour, but changing every couple hours or so. I'm seeing wind direction coming from the east, and then the southeast, then the west, then coming down from the north again. Not very strong, but variable wind direction. It's getting a little hotter towards midweek. The winds are drawing things out. We need to be very watchful. There's some new hotspots popping up in the Rockies around Glacier. Do check the links below. Keep on top of the information coming in, especially if you're close to one of these fire zones. Check up on friends and relatives. Be mindful of your access routes, and just in case things pop up quickly. It is wildfire season. Thank you very much for watching. Keep your nose to the breeze.